Joining me on the line right now, he is the five-star stud Joey Ace, who is going to be a part of Tier 1 Wrestling's debut show, A New Hope, taking place July 10th. Joey, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? I am doing fabulous. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty well, can't complain. The summer heat here in California, I'm sure it's a nice day in New York as well.
Oh man, it's a beautiful day out here. Like it's probably about hitting 80 degrees and there's no humidity and it's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I can never complain about my heat just because the humidity is so low. But let's talk about Tier One Wrestling.
Yep.
They are coming. They are debuting July 10th in Queens, New York. A New Hope. It is headlined by a four-way elimination match between Luke Hawx, Rude Boy Riley, the Sicilian Psychopath Tommaso Ciampa, and Mike Bailey. And your match,
hmm
you were going to get the Machine, Sam Shields, and a pretty interesting start. You guys put up some videos talking back and forth to each other. How has this come about, and have you faced Sam Shields before?
So yeah, it's pretty much the third time we are going up against each other. Back in 2009 in November, we had our first match. It was pretty much like my second professional wrestling match out at FTW Fight the World Wrestling in Long Island, New York, and it was me and Sam Shields, and I beat Sam Shields. I beat him, and then a couple of years later, we wrestled in Brooklyn, and he got the better end of that deal. So it's pretty much like, Dennis Long contacted me. It was like, "What's going on? Like, what's up? Like, what can I well what can I do for you?" And I was like, "I want Sam Shields. I don't know who the man is." And for about 5, 6 years now, we don't know who the better man is. So it's tied up. It's 1-1. And at Tier 1, we find out who the man is. And we kind of up the ante. Uh, he wants a championship shot. I want a championship shot. So why not make it a number one contenders match? And if he really, and I just can't do it on a one-on-one, just like one fall. Let's make it a little more interesting and do a 2 out of 3 falls. So that's how it came about.
Yeah, I mean it being the rubber match. You want it to be definitive. You really prove that you're the man up against Shields. You know, uh, how long have you been wrestling in the New York scene for maybe some of our listeners that haven't, don't know you as well as some others?
Well, I'll give you a quick backstory. Like I started out in 2009. It was April of 2009. Went into the school in Long Island. I trained there for maybe about 4 or 5 months. I was doing like the dark matches before the show, and I got put on. My first match was with the Funky Monkey Angel Ortiz. Back then, he was called the Puerto Rican Prodigy Angel Ortiz, and we faced off, and he got the better end of that one. Um, and I was there for a couple of years, and then from there, we just kind of traveled around the New York tri-state indie scene. So like I did some stuff in Jersey with Ace, been around, and I ended up at Warriors of Wrestling, and I'm still there now. Been there every month for the past going on 5 years. So that's a pretty much quick synopsis, and then I kind of jump around to like PA, North Carolina, Maryland. I went up to Canada a couple of weeks ago. So
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, no, well traveled, getting your feet under you, and this is kind of exciting for, I guess, the New York area. That's going to be one of those promotions that it's keeping it pretty New York centric. Obviously, there are guys like Champa and Hawks on the card, but the the usage of guys from the area, I think, has been one of the talking points that I see a lot of people on Twitter discussing. And then you have on it the special guest Bobby Lombardi and Homicide also going to be part of the meet and greet. How important do you think it is to those New York fans that are going to be there at the show?
well, I feel like this time right now is a transitional period. You had your guys come up, in the early 2000s, late 90s, and now they're starting to wind down. And a lot of the new guys that are coming in, the new faces, new fans, don't really know much about that era in independent pro wrestling in the New York scene. So it's pretty much good to kind of bridge the gap. You see all the new guys coming up, and then you see some of the not so much old timers guys, but the last generation are still there. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, this is where there's some history here. So it's kind of it's cool in a way, and I think it's necessary to have those guys there to kind of let you know, hey, look, this is where it started. We started here. We did this here. We did this here, and pretty much that's it. You know.
Yeah, it's very much, kind of like passing the torch from Bobby Lombardi and Homicide, who have been important in that area, just to be there. And it is. I think that for the fans, for a lot of the fans that are going to be there, it's important, right?
No, of
So,
course.
and for yourself, you are going to be the number one contender. Maybe coming out of your 2 out of 3 falls match. But is there anyone in the main event between Luke Cox, Rude Boy Riley, Tommaso Ciampa, Mike Bailey? We talked with Riley on a podcast, and he's also part of Warriors of Wrestling. Is there any one of those four that you particularly kind of hoping wins? Not necessarily means you think they'll win, but you're kind of hoping.
Oh man, hoping we'll win because I'm a New York guy, and I would like to see just kind of New York triumph. It got to be Rude Boy Riley. I want to see on top, but he's got some stiff competition. That's the thing. If he could make it, through that match, it's that's a testament to his fortitude, and I would love for him to get it. I've seen him that he can. Yes. Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I worried? Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
But
when you have guys like Luke Hawx and Tommaso Ciampa in there, I mean, their reputations precede them. And then Mike Bailey, he's making a name for himself, not just coming out of Canada, but also coming down like PWG, CZW, promotions like that. So,
yeah.
but I mean, I think with any of those guys, really, even though you will be the number one contender, you got to think a guy like Ciampa is going to be coming after you.
Hopefully, we wrestled down way back when I was like really young out in FTW in Long Island, man, and I was real young, man, real young, and he gave me he gave me my ass in a silver platter. So I would love to get back in the ring with him and kind of return the favor, see what he's about, so he knows, hey man, Joey Ace grew up. Joey Ace grew into the 5-star stud. So that would be pretty awesome. But we'll see what happens in the New Hope. You never know. 2 out of 3 falls. I'm not saying I'm doubting myself, but I don't. Sam Shoes has been kind of like in a little bit of a seclusion. He could get the better up on me, but who knows? Who knows? I want to leave that up to the imagination.
Of course, yeah, and that's what the 2 out of 3 falls thing kind of does. It's like, okay, even if he gets the one pin on you, right? It's like, okay, well, that's not the definitive win. You could still get another also. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Is there any? I mean, there's also that 6-way elimination fray. Just kind of get your thoughts on that before we get out of here. He has Icarus, David Starbucks, Belmar, Latin Dragon. And then Connor Claxton was recently added to the card. I mean, there's a ton of talent on this card. I mean, is there anyone else that you're kind of keeping your eye on? I'm particularly Grant Akuma, who mystery punter right now. I believe that Pinky Santos, he was taken off the card. So is there? I mean, you got to be keeping your eyes out for almost everyone.
So, again, being a New York guy, there's guys from everywhere. PA, Jersey, up north. Canada. In that match, if I had to pick someone, BSK.
Awesome, man. And then if you can, you have a Twitter, I believe, correct?
Yes, I am at Joey Anthony 88, or you can add me on Facebook at Joey Anthony Torres.
Awesome,
I
man.
mean, actually, Joey Ace. Look up Joey Ace, you'll find me. But if you're doing the whole .com/Joey Anthony Torres, then you'll get me too.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. Good luck in your match.
Man. But thank you, man. Good talking to you.